Hi, welcome to HeritageJDM's first episode of Japanese Car Review, where Connor and I hope to review at least one car a month, Japanese vintage automobile from our extensive collection here. We think you guys are going to really enjoy it. For some of you, this will be a walk down memory lane or a drive down memory lane, and for others, this will be the first time experiencing what we believe are some of the coolest cars ever to drive on the roads in our country and in some other countries as well. Today's episode, our first car is the 1977 Datsun Honeybee, also known as the B210 Honeybee. And to start us off, I'll take it over to Connor, and he will give you the history of the Datsun Honeybee and how it came to be.
The Datsun B210 Honeybee was a special low-cost model offered in the United States. It was the low-spec standard model with no options, but could be had with a special stripe and B decal. Its goal was to sell to a young first-time buyer who could not afford a regular B210. The Honeybee was only available as a two-door sedan. The Honeybee debuted in 1975 at the half year as the 41 miles per gallon Honeybee with A14 engine and 4-speed. The Honeybee was based on a low-cost standard model. It was exported as the Datsun B210 in North America as the third generation. From 1973 through 1978, it was manufactured. During the 70s, the B210 continued to be the fuel economy leader in North America with an EPA rating of 50 miles per gallon for B210s that had the 5-speed manual transmission and was one of the least expensive cars available of that period, sold only in North America. Datsun deleted the carpets and wheel covers, substituted black wall tires, eliminated the reclining seats, removed the armrests, yanked off the moldings, and upon reaching North American shores, applied a groovy side stripe and a little B on the fender.
That was the history of the Honeybee. Here's our Honeybee. Our Honeybee was purchased in September of 2015. We bought it for $4,500, which is about $2,000 more than what they sold for originally back in 1977, 78. Ours was bought in Kentucky near Lexington. Drove down there, met the person, and was a really nice guy. And it had been sitting in his barn and he wasn't using it, and he wanted it to go to somebody who could enjoy it, and we've been enjoying it. The car had some issues, like all cars do when you buy them. We worked on it for probably 2 months, did a lot of distributor work, engine work, and carburetor work to get it so it now is extremely reliable and runs terrific. The major negative about this car is it's not original paint. So the car has been repainted, and it has not been repainted great. I'd say it's probably a 7 or 8 out of 10, but from 5 feet, it looks terrific. The car is a stunner if you're into Japanese cars. First, if we do a walk around, the one thing you'll notice is the hubcaps, or the rims, have been changed. These rims are not original to the Honeybee. The Honeybee had, I think, steelies as they call them, with small disc hubcaps. These have been upgraded and actually look way better. It gives it a great stance. It's got a good look. The Honeybee stickers are unique to the Honeybee. Notice the B with wheels and the stripe going along the side actually gave it a sportier look, even though, as you heard from Connor, the car was a lower model. In fact, the lowest model car out there. At the time, it was the cheapest model, I think, on the market. It still retains the Datsun B210 logo on the side. One of the ways you can tell that it's not, which I think, or that it's not a regular B10 is there's no chrome on the windshield, the rear windshield. Also in the trunk, there's no floor matting or matting at all in the trunk. There's no spare tire cover, indicative of a Honeybee. Other than that, it's identical to a B210 for almost all intents and purposes. We'll go around to this side, pretty much the same. The car really looks nice. You can tell the car's been well cared for. We don't have a lot of rust underneath. It's a great looking car overall. On the inside, bare bones. No carpeting on the inside, no 5-speed, only a 4-speed. Basic gauges only. You don't have any tachometer. Now this car actually has a cigarette lighter. We believe it was added afterwards. It does not look factory, but other than that, it looks just like a Honeybee would rolling out of the factory. The car is in really spectacular shape. No rips on the, very few rips on the interior, and all in all, it's a great car. Okay, so here's the engine bay of the Honeybee. It has not been extensively detailed, as you can see. In the future, we will clean this up, but you can see hints of the original paint color and the difference between the current paint color and the original. The original had a more yellow hue, and the current is kind of a more softer yellow, which looks nicer, but is not original to the car. In the future, we'll probably paint the valve cover, redo the valve covers and clean it up a little bit better. But this engine had a whopping 80 horsepower, 4 cylinders. You were certainly not going to break your neck accelerating from 0 to 60 in this car. But what you did get was 41 miles to the gallon, which even by today's standards is amazing for a car. But that's it. This is the engine. Very simple to work on compared to modern day cars. You can get in, you can see everything, you can touch everything, you can work on everything without anything getting in the way. Extremely easy car to work on. Okay, now we're going to head outside and do some road tests with the Honeybee. We're going to do 3 different tests. 1 is going to be the slalom test, 2 is going to be 0 to 60, and 3 is going to be the cool factor test. So come with us as we head outside to see what this Honeybee can do. Okay, so we're doing the slalom. Handling is not one of the Honeybee's fortes. Okay, here's our 0 to 60 test on the Honeybee. Acceleration is also not one of the Honeybee's best attributes. Here we go.
Say hi.
In this next segment of Vintage Car Review, we're going to review the characteristics of each car, and we're going to rank them by each category and come up with overall grades for these cars, which I think will be kind of fun since we'll be comparing cars from different decades and eras and vastly different cars, but we'll be putting them together into one total package to review. So first on the list is acceleration. The Honeybee suffers from relatively horrible acceleration. It only has 80 horsepower, but it is lightweight, and with it being a manual transmission, it is rather fun to drive, but acceleration for the Honeybee unfortunately only came in at a 3. Handling is our next category, and the Honeybee is a little sloppy and top-heavy, and going through the slaloms, you really don't have a sense of having much control over the car. It feels like it could go any which way with too big of a turn in any direction. Maybe we could have gone with a 2 on this one, but after thinking about it, we gave it a 3 for handling. Braking is our next category, And the Honeybee is fine for what it is when it comes to braking. The brake pedal has a good feel. You feel confident when you hit the brake pedal. It stops as quick as you would expect for a car that size without anti-lock brakes. As a result, we gave the Honeybee a 4. Next category is comfort. The Honeybee, even though it's a stripped-down version of a standard B210 and supposedly doesn't have the amenities you would want, we found the Honeybee to be comfortable overall. It could use a better radio, it could use better heat and air conditioning, but the driving position is good. I could see us going on a cross-country trip with this car and not feeling a lot of aches and pains from the drive. So overall, we give the Honeybee a 5 for comfort. The next category is reliability. Datsuns, I think on the whole, were known for being fairly reliable cars. It took us a while to get this car dialed in, but once we got the mechanicals dialed in with the carburetor and timing, this car is really reliable. It's a single key turn and it's on pretty much. You pump the gas once or twice if you have to, but we haven't had any problems with it. So for reliability, we give the Honeybee a 6.
For the cool factor, we gave the Honeybee a 7. We think that it deserves a 7 because it is really unique and has a really cool paint job that if I noticed on the street, I would definitely want to take a picture of. And overall, it's just super rare car. You don't see it very often on the roads. And overall, we gave the Honeybee a 5. It had okay acceleration and handling, decent brakes, pretty good. It's pretty comfortable and it's pretty reliable and it's very cool. So overall, we gave it a 5, right in the middle. It's okay car overall, and it is very rare and just kind of gives you the bare essentials of what you need in a car.
Okay, so that's our review of the Datsun Honeybee. As you guys can see, the car is not that fast, doesn't handle all that well, but it's super cool to drive.
We hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to go check out our website, HeritageJDM.com. It has a list of all of our collection of cars, and you can comment down below which car you want us to review next.